Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today we have another episode of the Not Really Qualified to Talk About Music podcast. Here I am with my co-host Josh, and we don't have a guest today, but it's back to the old times where it's just Josh and I talking shit. So, how you doing, Josh?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I think it would be nice to get back to this raw, back to the good old days episodes of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
We don't do them too often, and I'm kind of thankful for that because I think every time we sit down, it's like a special occasion.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, true, and there's only so many before it becomes like, oh, who do we have on? Because we've had nearly everyone we can have on.
Virtually,
yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of I think there's a few people that we haven't had on.
Yeah.
That we would really like, but generally people have been very easy.
Yeah.
And there's been a few that are just virtually impossible because of their schedules.
Yeah, it's I mean, like the issues usually is like time difference and stuff, and trying to find a day where the guest is available and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's all good. It's cool. We've got a few lined up. There's always people willing to do it. So
yeah, maybe we should break the mold one day and have two guests.
Oh, no, that's a big. That's big.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot.
Maybe we'll just be too much like Transistor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want Liam thinking we're ripping him off or anything like that.
No, we started the podcast first.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, Liam, who do you think you are? No, yeah, but yeah. For now, we're just gonna discuss Travis Scott's Astroworld, I think, and then sort of go off from there and see where we get to.
Yeah, it's the Astroworld's a funny one, right? Because I think that, I've always really dug Travis Scott. Pretty much most of his singles, or at least most of what he's a part of, I have enjoyed to an extent because he definitely does bring a certain production, like a certain style to the music, and pretty much most of the singles, like with the Thug single, the Huncho Jack, even Huncho Jack, I enjoyed the most of purely just because it felt, not much. I wasn't going in expecting much, and I took away a positive, sort of mindset of that album.
All right.
But a Rodeo I've always thought as a really good album, like an excellent album, for obvious reasons. Like everybody, would. Well, a lot of people would agree. I think if you're a casual trap music fan, I think most people lean towards Rodeo because it's for some reason it's got just this a bit more intelligence to the way it's sort of put together. And I think a lot of people put that down to Travis Scott, and for some reason he's just completely dropped whatever was on that album. It's just gone.
It is. It's weird. I don't really know what his creative process is nowadays. I know obviously Metro Boomin's not really involved and stuff. He was quite significant on Rodeo, wasn't he? But
yeah, see, I was looking at the credits on all three records he's put out. So on Rodeo, what was funny, I found that he's credited as being a part. This is Travis, by the way. He's credited as being a producer on every track on Rodeo, whereas on Birds, he's credited as being a producer on 2 tracks.
Oh yeah.
And so and immediately I thought, okay, that could be the issue. And then on Astroworld, he's credited as producing a few tracks. And by the way, that's not just him producing. On Rodeo, there was 6 or 7 producers for every song.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy.
It was the same. It was the same with Birds, and it's the same with Astroworld. You'll find it with most trap albums that there's a lot of producers involved.
Yeah.
And as you say, Metro Boomin, did have a hand in a few tracks on Rodeo, and perhaps he was sort of around for the entire record, sort of creation.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, like, Metro Boomin is the single-handedly, made rodeo amazing.
Yeah, that's probably not true. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Metro Boomin. I think a lot of the stuff he gets involved with is usually good. But I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that Travis isn't involved in his own production anymore. I guess doesn't have that sort of. I guess like maybe like he was a bit of a leader before, so he was making a lot of the decisions. But now if he's not there and kind of just in the background, maybe it's just changed the way things are. I don't know.
And what I always think is, like, if people make this argument for Metro Boomin, like, being the best part of rodeo, like, how many other songs has Metro Boomin produced that sound or have the sort of composition of Oh My this side? Like, that the way that song is composed into sort of two sections is so amazing compared to anything any other trap rapper has done.
Well, yeah,
I'm not even sure if I know any other trap rapper who's made a song as long as that. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. Well, there was that 21 Savage freestyle. I mean, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can put that in the same light as pretty much anything Travis has done. I'd rather listen to Travis sort of shit in a bag on a microphone than 21 Savage freestyling.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, can't argue with that.
But so now we come to Astroworld, and my first listen of Astroworld, I thought it was average. I didn't think much of it. I guess I was thrown off by a lot of the production choices at first, like with the beat switch-ups. I don't even know if you can call them switch-ups, because the song just stops and then starts again. Is that a switch-up, or is it just a new song that for some reason they put together?
Yeah, to me that's what it sounded like, actually, to be honest. Like, a lot of people on social media were like raving about the switch-ups and stuff, and I was just like, these aren't really like... they're not really like full-on mind-blowing switch-ups. Like you said, it is kind of like the song ends and then the new bit begins. It's just like it's two parts rather than a switch-up. Like a switch-up is like some like DNA by Kendrick Lamar, or Oh My Darling, whatever, by Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
Oh My Darling, Don't Cry. Yeah.
Where it's like work in to the song. And actually, sounds like the same song. To me, it sounded like Travis was hearing what fans were saying, and that they really, really love rodeo and the way that was actually composed and like worked, and it was experimental in the way the composition worked. And he was like, wouldn't it be just like really cool and experimental if I threw a song at the end of another song and just called them one big song?
Yeah.
It's like, and it was frustrating, and I don't think the album. I will say I kind of enjoy the album now, even though the beat switch ups are really stupid. I just kind of pretend in my mind that they're completely different songs, and they work for me. Like, Travis, his rapping obviously has never been fantastic, but it is trap rap, so I never expect anything, mind blowing or super intelligent. I just expect a decent flow, and for the most part of the first half of Astroworld, that's what I get, and I'm content with that. The second half is god awful. Like the second half of Astroworld just completely falls off.
Yeah, it does.
Every song's like 2 or 3 minutes. It felt like they just threw it on the end. I at the moment, the way I see Astroworld, I think if this was like a 7-track album, if this was a good music released by Kanye, this could have been a half decent album, and I could enjoy it for what it was entirely. But no, I have to pretend that the other half doesn't exist.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No, you're right, probably. If you took the 7 best songs from Astroworld, I think I would have actually ended up liking it, because I did like about 7 songs, but there's like...
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's like 18 altogether, so that's less than half, which is why I was pretty And I ended up being pretty negative, but it is what it is. If I can't really help it if I only like less than half the songs. So
well, this is what frustrates me, like, because as I said, you know, if there were 7 tracks, great. I would have considered it like an 8 at least, if anything. Like, I enjoy this project throughout. That tends to be what an 8 is for me anyway. Like, I enjoy this project almost throughout. You know, maybe there's a few issues within the songs or whatever, but it's generally an enjoyable album. But like, when I have 7 songs that are good and then like, you know, 10 songs that are boring or garbage or have nothing to them, I can't help but throw this record all the way down the fucking, you know, grading system.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like, I could probably listen to the entire of Astroworld and not be absolutely disgusted. But I'm also not excited by it.
Yeah,
especially by the time, I think by the time it gets to like after the track with 21 Savage, I'm like tired.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted by the entire thing.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. But no, I get you though. Like, that's the thing. That's what makes me think like the hype is there for now, but then in 3 or 4 months it'll die down because that excitement will go because people will get bored of the few songs that are just like absolutely dire, like Yosemite or whatever it's called, and like it's called Can't Say, I think. Like, I don't know. There's some of the features were dead.
Yeah, and funnily enough, I actually really like the single that he dropped ages ago. I can't remember what it's called now.
Is it on this album?
Yeah, it's on the end of the album. Like,
Butterfly Effect. Butterfly? No.
Yeah, Butterfly Effect. Yeah. I really like that song.
Yeah.
But it does not make any sense in this album.
Well, yeah.
Sounds nothing like anything else. And it just sounds like a sort of the middle, you know, the middle part between his last and Astroworld, you know, his last album and Astroworld. So, and that's exactly what it is, and that's what it should have just been left as.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, if that wasn't there for me, that end of the album would just be, you know, why would you even listen to the rest of it at that point?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know people aren't really that, you know, big on Butterfly Effect, but I like it as a single. I'm going to keep listening to it as a single, but again, like, it just doesn't sound like anything on the album. It's very forced. I'm scared for Travis Scott's future, what the next album's going to be, whether or not he'll actually, you know, pull his finger out of his ass and get something done, like something in the vein of Rodeo, or it's just going to be this mediocre stuff for the rest of his life. Yeah,
maybe, we'll see. But I don't know, I'm still kind of thinking to myself that Rodeo might have been a fluke. But
most people do think that. It's just such a drop in quality that I think I'm just wondering how it could be a fluke. It's like Rodeo's an hour and 6 minutes long, but you can listen to the entirety of it and come out completely positive.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Both with Birds and Astroworld, they're like 50 minutes long, but they feel a lot longer.
They do,
They feel too much. And I'm positive about both of these albums, but they feel too long. Too long.
I agree.
For the tracks that fill them, no. No. They are not, they're just, I don't know, they just don't have much replay value, and nothing on Astroworld or Birds is any better than anything on Rodeo. Like, you just, so yeah, I mean, Travis is another one that got away. I kind of
another one
I'm kind of thinking that Young Thug can drop another good project, but his last, you know, anything he's put out after Jeffrey, I've been completely lukewarm against as well.
Yeah, I can see that actually. There's like every so often there's like a decent track, isn't there? He had an EP as well, and that EP had a few good songs on. Like, so he's got that sort of like he keeps you excited because he drops something every so often. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I feel like Jeffrey was just it got everything right. I think it made everything about his style right. Whereas whatever that one after was, the beautiful yeah, that was it. Yeah. I thought that was just
with the fucking like with the guitar. Like there was like acoustic guitar throughout that album. It was all, oh man, he's so good. He's just so progressive. Fucking Travis did that as well on Astroworld. Like, there's the song with The Weeknd. I think it's the second song.
Yeah.
Where it's got the guitar sample in the back. Like,
oh yeah.
It's like at this point, it kind of feels like you're just pushing it. Like you're doing that for the sake of how cool and progressive it sounds. You know.
But it's not really that exciting, is it?
It just sounds like XXX Tentacion.
But yeah, other artists that have done that sort of like drop in quality, I would say, is YG.
YG. I haven't listened to this new album. I've been highly avoiding it like the plague.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone's review.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I'm not even aware of like YG's past stuff. I know people really dig him, but I don't know where if he's is it such a big drop that it's sort of painful and no going back from here.
Well, here's the thing, right? With like My Crazy Life, I didn't actually listen to the whole thing because the singles sounded pretty generic to me.
Yeah.
It had those, those what are they called? Like those gang vocals back in like 2014 with the like on every hip hop beat. That was on all his singles it had that. So I was just like, this is crap. I'm not even bothering. I know it's going to be terrible. So. But then he changed things completely up with Still Brazy. Did you not hear that one? No, okay.
I absolutely know. I've missed the boat with him entirely.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Still Brazy was like this really fun, like G-funk West Coast rap album. And bear in mind, I'm not like a West Coast rap person really. Yeah. I've said before, but like I don't know. I think Dr. Dre's stuff was pretty overrated, apart from the singles that he made. But like. Other than that, I found him really annoying and like, just I don't know. And the beats sounded kind of cheap. Like basically, he heard a song from the 70s with a funky like guitar sample, and then just put it in a hip hop song. That's what it sounds like to me. I didn't really get that kind of stuff. And Snoop Dogg was the same, kind of like fun, laid back, but it didn't really have anything that I'd ever like play again. And I don't know.
I can get behind that absolutely. Like I own Dr. Dre, his solo stuff, and I wouldn't mind owning any Snoop Dogg albums on vinyl, but as you say, like they're not as hard hitting as people seem to say they are. Like I would 100% rather be listening to any sort of like I'd rather be listening to NWA, to be honest, and I don't even think NWA is that amazing anymore, but I think the sort of the lyrical impact of NWA was just much more interesting than anything Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg have ever said.
Pretty much actually. I would agree with that. But
yeah.
But and anyway, YG just kind of took that sound and turned it into a really good album. Like I don't know, even though lyrically he wasn't that good. He started a few songs on Still Brazy are a bit like questionable lyrically, but most it was like I think about 18 songs long, and there was only about 2 or 3 that weren't very good, which is a really good rate, I thought. So
hip-hop goes.
I mean usually you get those long albums and only 5 are good or whatever. But YG stepped up his game with Still Brazy, but then he's just gone back to his really annoying shit on this latest album, Stay Dangerous. Like so many terrible lyrics on this. There's one song that has it's like regressing back to his first album, and it's just man. I ripped apart the album to be honest in the review, but
oh my god, I looked Still Brazy up, and I 100% recognize that album cover. Like, I've seen it in so many people's, like, top 20.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, that's a recognizable album cover.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give that a listen so I can listen to Stay Dangerous and probably
Yeah.
absolutely hate it.
Yeah, do it.
Maybe I'll love it. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm into the hey.
Maybe. No, yeah, like I'd check it out. I think you might like Stillbrazy. Like you said, it made so many year-end lists. Fantano, Dead End Hip Hop praised it as well. Luke James, pretty much everyone in the Discord.
Well, Luke James, not the singer.
Oh, not the singer. Yeah, we need to clarify this.
I love that. That's his like opening fucking. I've never even heard of Luke James, the singer, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's really funny, isn't it? Like,
have many people?
I don't. To check this, I once went on like his YouTube channel, and it has a decent following. So I think,
fine.
Until Luke James, not the singer, gets a bigger following, then Luke James, the actual singer, will always be more well known. So.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. But I do know there's a American football player called Ryan Leith, so maybe I should start saying at the beginning of not the American football.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I know there's like basketball players named Joshua Fortune, so
there you go.
Although I mean, I don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't be like, unfortunately.
Hey, don't say that. You dropped a noodles video today that everyone needs to go check out.
That's unlisted.
It's unlisted.
Private.
Oh, okay, that's just fair.
So anyone hit me up in the DMs if you want to have some sick noodles. Like today I filmed a noodle recipe video in the vein of the needle drop. I think if Fantano can start making cooking videos, I can too.
Excellent, I love it.
It's much harder than you think. Like
really,
yeah, because you've got to focus on things so in a linear way, and I just was completely disorganized. So there were times where I was just like, I don't know what to say. I'm just chopping fucking vegetables here, and like the noodles are like boiling, so I have to somehow say something about that. It's like cooking videos are really difficult. I would not recommend it to anyone.
Oh wow, that sounds intense. I mean, I'm not a great cook, so I think I'd be terrible at that.
I'm not even a great cook. Like, that noodle video is just because people wanted to see it, so I made it.
Awesome.
Yeah, in the vein of like artists who have sort of dropped off. I had one actually, and now it's completely gone out of my mind. Like, I had a really good one before.
Was it A$AP Rocky?
It was A$AP Rocky. Yeah, I just saw the album on my phone. Yeah, I was like scrolling, just like, oh, I need to find. Yeah, A$AP Rocky, man. Like, he's probably he's probably in the same light as Travis. Well, as once was in the same light as Travis for me. Like, I really, really loved his first mixtape. I love his first album. I even kind of dug his second album, even though I'd probably rate it, maybe similarly to like a Birds or an Astroworld. And then testing is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not one of the worst things I've ever heard, but it's so all over the place. Like, it's I just can't believe that this is the same artist I'm hearing. And I listened to the first mixtape, and then I listened to this, next to it, and it's like, what the fuck happened? What happened to A$AP Rocky? Like, I can't tell if it's just because he's I mean, he's never been an absolute fucking genius, but I've always seen him as he could at least make like an album full of good songs I can enjoy. I can't remember anything from testing that I came away thinking, yeah, you know what, I can stick that on a playlist.
Yeah, I'll admit I did like one song on the album, and it was the Skepta song. Praise the Lord. I kind of like Praise the Lord, and it made the charts here as well. I think it's because Skepta's on it. I think it's in the top 20 or something. But yeah, I like that one. I thought it was a good song, to be
I
honest.
do
But
kind of
everything
like
else
that.
I thought was bad.
Yeah, I like that. Like these sort of British, grime rappers are getting onto like big American trap albums. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
who was it on who was it on Drake's project?
Oh, oh yeah, you're right. There was someone. Was it Gigs or someone?
No,
Yeah.
the most recent one I think Giggs was on.
Okay,
And
okay.
there was an artist. There was a grime artist on, the last one, More Life,
Right,
and
yeah.
it was a I think it was a freestyle. I can't remember. I think it was someone in the vein of Skepta or maybe Wiley. I can't remember. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, like it seems to be a sort of it's getting there. For some reason I actually predicted that we'd have a grime artist on a Travis Scott album for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Because it just feels like all of these big American, hip hop artists are getting grime artists in more often. It's such a weird like connection for me. I know it's both hip hop, but I've always seen grime as like this such a British thing. I couldn't see it like going out of its comfort zone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see
Like
what you're saying.
we haven't even had like Stormzy on anyone's album yet. I mean, thank God,
No.
but just seems strange because he kind of feels like he's like the biggest, like the most well-known one.
Well, actually, Stormzy has been on a Little Mix song, so you know.
Well, there we go. I've been proved wrong.
There we go. You know.
Yeah, thank
No,
you for having me on this podcast. I obviously don't know my music well enough, do I?
exactly. That's the issue. No. Yeah. I'll be honest. I think I mentioned before, but ASAP Rocky, not really.
Yeah, you don't like A$AP Rocky, I know.
Yeah. Singles, like the singles he's dropped over the years, I like.
Yeah.
The one with ASAP Ferg, Shabba. I still play that to South African. I love that song, but that was actually on Ferg's album, wasn't it? So
technically.
Technically that. What else was there? Goldie was pretty good. One Train, is One Train the one with all like the big posse cut, whatever?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure like Joey Badass and like loads of rappers are on that song. I'll have a look.
I think so. Yeah, I think that is the case.
I think I like that one. Yeah.
I feel like the one.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Joey Badass, Danny Brown, Yellow Wolf. Yeah. I like that. I like that.
What a lineup! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yellow Wolf is just like stuck on the end of it. Like
Yellow Wolf.
You got Kendrick Lamar, you got Danny Brown, you got Yellow Wolf. Man.
Oh man. At least Spectrum Pulse likes him.
I don't understand. Have you ever here's like a massive deep cut, okay? Because at one point in my life, I was a massive Ed Sheeran fan. Like when I was in my early teens, I was a massive Ed Sheeran fan. And Ed Sheeran did, like, I think he might have done a couple of EPs with Yellow Wolf.
Okay.
And at the time, I thought they were like the greatest shit ever. But
holy shit.
Looking back now, it's probably one of the worst things ever. Like they're not a good match, if I'm honest. And Ed Sheeran rapping,
God.
I never want to hear Ed Sheeran rapping.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh my god, yeah, the Slumdon Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, I've just googled it. 2020.
Like,
2012. What a time.
Man, in 2012 I was bumping that like on the
Were you?
on the bus going to school when I was doing my paper round. When I was on my paper round, I was like dancing on my way, like singing to Yellow Wolf, and I was like, yeah, man, Yellow Wolf is like the greatest rapper ever.
Oh god, that's hilarious, man. Oh man.
I mean, that's not too far away from when I thought Eminem was good.
Yeah, I mean, there's credibility there, to be fair, but Yellow Wolf, that's just, that's not really. That's hilarious.
I don't know. Yellow Wolf's been on tracks that I like, but there's there's no way I would listen to a full Yellow Wolf album.
I know, I can't cope. I listen to a few songs, I'm like, I want to like this, but then I put a song on, I'm like, yeah, Ryan, you're never going to like this, so just turn it off.
He's so difficult to like, and I mean, like,
But
I say that I really hate Eminem, but like, I'll probably listen to an Eminem over Yellow Wolf any day.
oh yeah, probably yeah. I mean,
That's how bad
Eminem
I think
at
of
least.
Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, Eminem usually just gives me something to think about, and it's not something I enjoy, but I think about it, and it makes me try and fathom what it is and stuff like that, and makes me question what he's saying. And
yeah,
but I don't enjoy Eminem, to be honest. Apart from he has some like obvious songs that everyone knows and everyone likes, and I, to be honest, still think they're his best songs. So I don't know.
I think
Maybe I'm just not a stan.
Oh.
No.
Alright, guys, I'm off. I'm done with this podcast now. You can have Ollie. Get Ollie on, I don't care. I want to officially challenge you on this podcast. Hopefully people are still listening by now. I want to officially challenge you to listen to and review that Ed Sheeran Yellow Wolf EP.
You know what? That might be a good idea.
It would be good. Or at least, like, react to it. Because it's... At one point in my life, I thought that was the shit. I thought it was the greatest thing to ever exist. Ed Sheeran, man. Yeah, rapping. Oh, so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he can play guitar and rap? That's like... nobody else is doing that right now.
He's so dreamy.
Meanwhile, like, Death Grips fucking put out Money Store by that point.
Yeah. That's
Holy
funny.
shit.
Yeah, we all have those times with music. But
Definitely.
that's
Definitely.
funny. You've opened my eyes there. I did not know that was something that happened. That's so funny.
I don't think most people do, and I want to put that in the limelight right now, and everybody should go and listen to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, wow, what if, like, Ed Sheeran wakes up one day and he gets some royalties from that song, and he's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
still like this stuff. Let's do another collab.
Yeah.
Let's get on an album.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Now, as a Deep Cuts Patreon member, I might request that we do a listening party of
Ooh,
Slumdon Bridge. Slumdon Bridge. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I love this. Title track 2. You don't know, brackets for fuck's sake.
That's the best one. That's the best one because honestly, that song was my life. It was like the soundtrack to my life. Like I was just like, oh, Yellow Wolf, like he raps so fast, like it's so good. Like just like the best rapper alive.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's so funny.
I challenge everybody to go and listen to that EP because you might not make it past the second song. And it's only an EP. Imagine if they did an entire album.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oof.
Amazing. But yeah, for the second part of the podcast, we thought we would discuss some news stories in music that are currently going on. Because we've never really done this before. And there might be some interesting things to talk about. The first one being Sam Smith faces the wrath of Twitter after admitting he doesn't like Michael Jackson. Well, Sam Smith...
That's news.
That's some major news. Thank you, Enemy, once again, for providing us with the best content you could ever provide us with. Sam Smith doesn't like Michael Jackson. I care about this. I care. I do care.
I honestly want to like work for the Enemy just to be sitting in my office, just like, looking for some music, typing up reviews for the new Arctic Monkeys album and giving it a 10 out of 10 because it's just obviously the greatest album. And the boss comes in, he's like, guys, like slams the fucking desk, like pulls the desk over, and is like, Sam Smith said he doesn't like Michael Jackson.
That's so funny.
And I'm like, I flip the keyboard up, and I'm like, get on that shit. Just like typing fucking so fast, like my, and like if you ever look at some of those Enemy reviews, like news stories, there's at least one spelling mistake. So you can tell that, there's
shit,
loads, and you can so tell that like they've been like oh shit, better get this out quick. Better get the click
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Got to get those views, man.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
It's absolutely, it's so funny. But yeah, Sam Smith doesn't like Michael Jackson. I mean, it's almost as if he's human and he doesn't have opinions. You know?
Wow. Jesus Christ, he has opinions.
Sam Smith is a pop star and he doesn't like Michael Jackson.
Oh man.
That's out of this world, man. Like, you can't have opinions if you're famous.
That's funny. No, but yeah. I actually, the more I think about it, the more I want more artists to come through with like hot takes and stuff. I think that'd be good. Yeah, like obviously, like we have the hot takes come from the music nerds, and that's great. But it'd be really good just to have like so every now and then, you get like this slew of artists coming through saying like they hate something. It'd be really fun. What
I don't like, and the complete opposite of that, what I hate it when artists like something, or they just like they pretty much like anything. Like they'll say they like anything. Just to get fans. Like you fucking like artists like the 1975 will be super cautious because Matty Healy probably doesn't like anyone, but he'll quietly sort of especially in interviews, he won't rip anyone apart. Like, and then there's like people like Charlie XCX and who will probably just like anyone.
Yeah.
She just thinks that music is a thing to vibe to. And that's fair enough. Like, if you think that way, that's completely fine. But I know for a fact that Charlie XCX doesn't like everybody. So I want her one day to just come on Twitter and it's like, fuck the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. She does like Spotify playlists and stuff, doesn't she? But yeah, she should definitely come through with some like, I fucking hate Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, no.
Could you imagine Twitter?
Can you imagine the outrage?
I know.
Like, it'd be the apocalypse.
It was fucking crazy. People wouldn't know what to do. Like, which side do I go on? Oh no!
Exactly. Like Carly Rae Jepsen fans and Charlie XCX fans will be split apart.
They would. That would be crazy.
It's a really good lesbian relationship we've got going on. Let's just keep it sane.
That's funny. Well, you spoke of Matt Healy, and you just reminded me of that story that came out.
Yeah. Like
2 weeks ago. I mean, it wasn't really a story, but we're very on time with these things on this channel. But he said, sorry, go on.
No, I was about to say, what did he say exactly?
He said, what did he say? It was the only band that are currently is no. It was 1975 are the biggest band right now that are doing something that's really interesting. And people were just like, no.
Yeah, and what's funny is that I read the article, and I don't think he technically meant that. I don't think he technically meant, like, the 1975 are the best band doing the most interesting. What he said was that he could, who else was going to be able to fill that spot at the festival? Yeah. But at the same time, like, he was completely in the wrong, because... Right, maybe you were the only one available. I can think of 10 bands who could easily fill that spot any day of the week. There's loads of British bands who could have filled that spot. Even if they were already in that festival, but they could have just been bunked up to that stage and played the same set, and it would have drew in the same amount of people.
Oh yeah, for sure. So was it in regards to a festival then? I just thought he was just talking about bands, and he was like, "Oh yeah, with it." Oh, okay.
I know that that's what the clickbait said.
Yeah, right? I'm sure I clicked on the article as well, but I must not have. I can't really remember, to be honest. But
yeah, like if in the actual sort of discussion, it mentions like he's saying is that nobody else could fill that spot.
Well, yeah, I mean, as much as I don't really like the 1975, they are a bit different to most. I can.
As pop music goes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got your Catfish in the bottom and your Royal Blood. Like, they're not really doing anything that's remotely interesting. Whereas 1975 are trying, but it just doesn't really work out. I don't think.
No, I think that I'm not a fan, but I do like their past two albums.
Okay.
I like them. Like I think I do enjoy them.
Mm.
But their first album came out to a point, in a time where that was just the kind of music I listened to. Like I listened to Catfish and the Bottom, and I listened to all those indie bands.
Mm-hmm.
When I was not I was narrow-minded. I thought that pop music was garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's it. And that's all I listened. So I caught onto that album, and I can't help but still like that sound. I don't know if in 10 years I'll feel the same, but
Yeah.
and so I do like them, but as you say, like I do think they're doing something a bit different. Like they're a lot poppier than a lot of indie bands. Like Royal Blood are too far down the sort of boring rock end for me.
Yeah.
I can't get on that. So at least the 1975 bring a bit more of a pop flavor, and they're making bops. Like their bopability for me is quite high on the scale.
Yeah, I mean, I like the song "The Sound" that came from the last album. That was "Love Me." They were the two songs I thought were good, but I think that too much of the time they're trying to be the Cure for me. Like especially on these new singles, like they're just really seeped in Cure but worship. But hey,
this is the issue with these new singles. I maybe that for me they're past the point of maybe they're just too lyrically cheesy now. Like they're so meta,
yeah.
Like their last song was their lyrics for that was so ridiculous, and I can commend Matty for writing such open book lyrics. Like he's just saying things, and there's no mystery to what he's saying. But I think perhaps he thinks there is a mystery to what he's saying. Maybe he thinks this actually is, or maybe he just thinks he's being edgy.
Yeah, probably that.
But the performance doesn't come through. Like the way he sings, it's not very edgy. It's not very, like it sounds like he knows he's very aware of himself. Even in the way he dresses and looks, like he dresses like this kid that just does a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And is very sad all the time. Like he dresses like any teenager on the internet.
Oh yeah, sure.
That cracks jokes about wanting to kill themselves every 5 minutes.
Probably. No.
That's kind of just what frustrates me with them at the moment. I think they're beyond me.
It's also very him. Like there's no spotlight on any of the other artists, which is fine. They might not want to, but it's just one of those bands, isn't it? That just has a very focused, like male singer that people want to, focus on, but everyone else kind of gets put to the background. I don't know.
I think they're just calling themselves a band at this point, just to appeal.
Probably.
Appeal to indie kids. Like, oh, if they're not a band, then how can I even relate to that? I'm in a band. Might as well just be a Bowie figure at this point. Really, just go solo and try that route.
Maybe do a Morrissey.
Do a Morrissey and just completely drop all morals and make some garbage music.
Action Bronson reportedly arrested for smoking weed on stage.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know.
There's worse things you could be getting arrested for.
Yeah, there is, I guess.
My girlfriend's dad he's a big he's a big reader.
Oh yeah.
He's a big fan of the Teardrop Explodes band, who had a guy called Julian Cope in, and he wrote a book called The Jap Rock Sampler, and it's essentially a bunch of Japanese rock bands, old Japanese rock bands that he really liked, and he was telling me that one of these Japanese rock bands, they split up, not because of any musical differences, but because one of them fucking hijacked a plane, and and like they hijacked a plane with people on them, like passengers.
Okay.
And that's why the band broke up. And where I'm going with this is that there are worse things that artists have done in their life other than smoke weed on stage.
That's pretty crazy. I guess it depends.
Calm down, people.
It might have been in which state he was in. You know, the laws might have been very strict. I don't know.
I mean, if you smoke weed in England on stage, you get arrested. But like, it's at this point, it's just beyond me why like the police waste their time on people smoking weed. Like, it just doesn't smell nice. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
I think it's because a lot of people are like offended by the thing. You know, there's a lot of people in the world that still find it. Just they hold it at such a high level. You know.
Yeah.
As a drug, whereas I think, like there's heroin and cocaine. They're pretty prominent as well.
Oh god, yeah, they're much worse. Yeah. I guess the notion is though that people can lead on to other drugs through weed. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person, I think. But I wouldn't rule it out. People probably do. Let me see. There was a Ticketmaster story that circulated. Yeah. I don't know much about this.
They got rid of their resale site.
Yeah. So I might read into this. I don't know anything about these resale sites. Do you know anything? Or?
Yeah, I know. I know that it's really scummy.
Right.
I just that like it's just a scummy thing to be doing because it's sort of. I'm not actually completely sure, like on how the system works. I just know that like. Considering Ticketmaster are like the number one selling site for tickets, and they have their own resale sites. Like they're keeping tickets back for resale sites so they can like make more money there because it's just completely scummy. And there was another thing. There was another Ticketmaster thing that was incredibly scummy a while back. We might have even talked about it, although maybe it was even before this podcast started. Where the thing for Taylor Swift's most recent album, Reputation, essentially the only way to get a ticket to one of her gigs was to go through a system where you had to. The more like merch you bought, the more versions of the album you bought, the more likely you were able to get a ticket.
What the hell? That's so stupid.
Did you not know about this?
I did not hear about this. This is crazy.
This is frustrating to me because to me this is the scummiest thing I've ever seen I've seen an artist do as far as like ticketing goes. And like it went completely it was like big for a day. And then, like, it just disappeared. I think even Fantano talked about it.
Jesus Christ.
It's, like, completely gone. And it went on. Like, Ticketmaster didn't, they didn't have any issues with it. They didn't get shut down for it. Taylor Swift was not, outed for it whatsoever, pretty much, other than the one day. Like, it was just, that's just disgusting. Like, the best chance you have of getting a ticket that's probably going to cost you 180 quid anyway, is by spending a lot of money on merch. You're most likely going to have to buy the vinyl version, the CD version, the digital version of the album. All this absolute garbage just to go and, get just to get a chance at it.
Yeah. That's awful.
Not a free ticket. I know.
That's awful. That's so bad.
But so Ticketmaster have always been absolutely scummy. It's not just this resale thing.
Yeah.
It's shit like that. That have always been in.
Was it involved with Taylor Swift, or was it just them doing that? Because I'm sure people would have.
No. It was like on her website. She had a website that hosted that sort of. So you could log in, and then you could buy everything, and then you'd fill up a bar, to to your ticket or whatever. Just
Oh
stupid,
man,
really. Just so stupid.
ways to make money, eh? Jesus Christ.
And like, she's a big artist anyway. You're gonna sell out,
Yeah.
and your album's gonna sell. Why do you need that much more?
Oh my God, that's crazy. No, I'm sure that was. I'm sure that was to make profit for the website. To be honest, that sounds more like their gain rather than it being anything for Taylor Swift.
It's definitely a Ticketmaster gain, yeah. But like at the same time, Taylor was definitely not being harmed by.
Oh no, yeah, she was fine. She probably was okay. She was like, yeah, I'll make money for the day. Why not?
It's weird to me. Like I've always seen Taylor, maybe before the whole Kanye thing. I've seen her as such a safe, like a pretty raw artist. Like I've always seen her as just this pop artist who doesn't do anything controversial, doesn't do anything to like scam her fans. There was nothing weird about her. But then I saw that and I was like, there's no way this went on without Taylor knowing.
Oh, yeah.
Without Taylor saying. She would have had to say yes, it's her project.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that like I think of every now and again and I just get so angry.
I can see why.
Like, nobody talks about it ever.
That's so bad.
And thank God, or at least hopefully, that no one else has done this. I'm not aware of anybody else. But if I have a feeling if someone like smaller did that kind of thing, like they'd get absolutely thrown into the ground. Like they'd be.
Well, yeah.
They'd be destroyed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would definitely make him look bad. But to be fair, Taylor has a lot of like. Stories that get circulated around that make her look bad anyway. Even when she isn't always in the wrong, but she's definitely snaky. She's definitely off. She's a
bit weird.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a big story here. So listen to this headline.
Okay.
BBC Radio 6 music's reshuffle is a grim reminder of our mortality. What a headline! BBC Radio 6 Music's reshuffle is a grim reminder of our mortality. Grim reminder. What sort of headline would include a grim reminder when you're talking about a radio station? I just don't know.
What the fuck is a radio? What even is that?
So basically, their presenters have been moved around. So Lauren Laverne is now doing the breakfast show.
Right.
Yeah, and
a grim reminder just because they all moved about.
Hey, the Guardian knows all. You can't question the Guardian.
The damn Guardian. So like in NME, like everyone's going crazy because Sam Smith has said he doesn't like Michael Jackson, and in the Guardian, everyone's like, guys, BBC Radio 6 have like changed their people around.
It's so grim.
Get this on right now.
It's so grim, guys. Oh, it's so bad.
It's a grim reminder. He just thought about that immediately. Like he was typing it and he was like, oh, what can I do to get people's grim it's so grim. It's such a grim reminder. He was like really proud. He was super proud of what he had accomplished there.
Oh man, that's so bad. To be fair, Radio 6 does some good stuff.
I've heard that that's the radio station for like alternative music.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I mean,
I don't really listen to radio.
No. Oh wait. Oh no. I've never actively, sit down and listen to a radio. But if I was stuck with one all day for whatever reason, I would put it on. I'd put Radio 6 on because Capital FM plays the same 10 songs all day. BBC Radio 1, I find the people on there actually a bit annoying.
I have a distinct hate for Radio 1 and what it stands for, honestly.
Yeah.
It genuinely pretends to be like this alt station that puts on, different music to the, the pop stations, but like the shit you find on there is just, lesser well-known pop artists that are just still making garbage most of the time.
Oh yeah.
I found Radio 1 just to be absolutely painful. And as you say, the presenters on there, I don't like Charlie Sloth. I think he's a complete idiot. I don't like what's his name? Shit, I've forgotten the guy's name. It'll come back to me at some point. But is it Grimmy?
Yeah, Nick Grimshaw. I find him.
Nick
Yeah, I find him
Grimshaw,
annoying too. And
oh.
yeah, Greg James, a bit boring. Is he even down there anymore? I don't even know.
I don't know. You could, if anyone looked at Greg James, they'd think, "My God, that is the most boring thing ever."
But yeah, they all get quite popular, don't they? I mean, Fern Cotton was on there for a while,
Massive.
and she was very well known. I don't know. I still liked Zane Lowe. I thought Zane Lowe did a lot for music, to be honest. Alternative music, yeah.
Tell you what, I like Zane Lowe because I genuinely think that a lot of the stuff that he had put on Radio 1 was good and well worth listening to. However, when you see him interview any artist ever, he couldn't be so far up their arse. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
if you ever see that classic interview with Kanye, when he's talking about Yeezus, he's like, "Oh, I love this aspect of it," and it's like, "Oh, you did this so awesome! Like, wow, you're just like the greatest rapper ever." He's like, blah 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 blah, and Kanye's there like with stone face, like shouting about fashion or something.
Oh yeah, was that the Gaga interview? That is legend. If that's that same one, that is.
I think it is the Gaga.
Oh man, I've replayed that part so much. I just went on YouTube one time and just recorded it from my phone, so it's actually on my phone somewhere. I sent it to my girlfriend, and she was like, "Brian, what are you doing? Why I don't want to watch this."
It's so good.
Gaga.
It's my favorite. Yeah. What the fuck does Gaga know about? What is it?
What does he say? What the fuck does Gaga know?
What the fuck does Gaga know about?
Oh man, what is it? I've watched it so many times.
God, it's like the greatest thing ever, but I can't remember what.
Oh, I'll find out and then I'll...
It's like some really random thing. Like he just shoves.
Polaroid, isn't it? Polaroid, cameras. Yeah.
Such a random like.
I think he's talking truth there, though, because he's right. Because celebrities do get branded on these random things every so often, don't they? As if the company just needs a way to promote it, so then they'll just use a random person in their advert, or they'll use a random, and then that person becomes like the front runner of, Kylie Jenner and Pepsi or whatever. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like. Okay, so you've got Kylie Jenner to carry a can of Pepsi. Yeah. That will never make me want to.
Yeah, you're right. Like it's such bullshit,
why
isn't it?
Kylie Jenner? You could have anyone. Carry
it's really true. But I think it works as a promotional technique. I don't know. It must do.
I think it does in a sense where, like, I guess what it is, right? And I've seen this with the people I really like. If I stan like an artist and they wear a certain type of clothing, I'm probably more likely gonna go out and buy that type of clothing in a store if I see it, because I want to look like, I like this person's style, that I stan or whatever, so I want to look in the same vein as that, that's an idol there or whatever. But as far as like cans of drinks go, like if Alex Turner came on my television holding a can of Pepsi and saying how fucking great it was, I would just be like, what the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, especially if it was Alex Turner, I'd be like, what, Alex Turner, what happened to you? You become a corporate sellout, what happened there?
You know what I mean? Like, just, but even if it was someone who I would expect to be a corporate sellout, I'd just be like, shit, it's like, this dude's holding a can of Pepsi on my TV, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. No, you're right, it's pretty stupid, isn't it? But
Anyway, the next episode of Not Real Music Podcast will be sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah, and maybe Polaroid too. We might ask Kanye, see what he thinks.
Polaroid. What the fuck does Ryan know about Polaroid?
Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, we could end it there. I think that's a good way to end it.
That's a good place to end. Yeah.
But it's been a good episode this one. I've enjoyed talking about news stories. We should actually try doing this a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of news to be talked about, including what artist is going to hate another artist next. Find out next time on Enemy Knows.
Carly Rae Jepsen versus Charlie XX.
No, we can't have that happen. The world will be divided.
Hell in a Cell, that's what we need.
Hell in a Cell.
That's But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's been a good episode. Thank you, Josh, for joining, as always, and being the co-host.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening, and hope you enjoyed the episode. Share it with a friend if you wish to, whatever. Do whatever you want with it. It's fine. Cool. And we'll see you next time on the episode of Not Really Qualified to Talk About Music. Goodbye.